Hello, hello, it's Cara here and I am so mad. Ooh, I'm a little bit chilly today, I have to say. I am filming a little bit ahead in advance of when you'll see this video, but we are well into November. So I'm a bit brave actually, because I've got, yeah, it feels a bit chilly. A bit chillier than I was expecting it to be, that's for sure. I haven't even got something I can pop on. But another week of me and my me-made life, because you know I am so mad. That's the point. In fact, I've actually got rain on my glasses. This is not a good start to a video, Cara. I mean, honestly, you've been filming for a while now. You'd think you'd like get yourself organised. But yeah, there we go. Actually, I'm experimenting with contacts. Obviously not today, so sometime in the future when I can get the prescription and the type of lens right, I might not have these on my face. We will see. So another week of amazing sewing, another week of things I want to catch up about. So today is a combination of 3 things I've made over the course of a little bit of time, not necessarily just in the week that you've just seen, so you don't be thinking, oh my word, did you make these 3 things this week? I've been spreading out my most recent makes over the last few weeks, if that makes you feel a little bit better. But I do prolifically sew. But I'm not sewing all the time, by the way, everybody. I do live a life. I work full time. I've got 2 lovely dogs, a husband and an amazing daughter. Not necessarily loved in that order, but you know what I'm saying. We're all in it together. So I do lead a busy life. But people are always saying to me, oh my word, how do you sew so much? I don't know. I just enjoy it. But I also enjoy being inspired by my lovely sewing friends, and the dress that I am wearing is purely made on the back of inspiration from the beautiful Angela from Devon Thread Tales. Let me put a picture of her wearing the inspiration dress. I hope I've got one actually, but she was wearing the Stasia dress. I think I'm saying that wrong, so I'm sorry. So watch their sew along, and they say it differently to that, so I'm sorry about that. The Stasia dress by Sewliberated, and Angela was wearing this dress at the Knitting and Stitching show last month, and in fact I think she might have been wearing a Stasia dress at the last Knitting and Stitching show I met her at, and loved it then. So it's been on my list for a really long time, and so I finally got round to getting hold of the pattern and making the dress. So you can make this with short sleeve or long sleeves. I've gone for, actually mine are sort of 3/4 length, and that's to do with how I finished the cuff. But actually, how I finished the cuff really doesn't take up much more length. So if you are thinking about making the long sleeve, it ain't that long. I haven't taken anything off the pattern. Let me just show you what I've done. You know, I like to do I'll come in a bit closer. So I've actually created a faux cuff on the bottom of mine. I hope you can see that. And you do that by turning it under as you would, and then sewing it using your overlocker on the edge. And then when you flip it back, you end up with a faux cuff. I hope you can see that. Let me try that side. Can you see that on there? So it takes up a tiny bit more fabric, but not masses. I'll put some photos of me in here. I actually wore this out to dinner with some friends last night, and I am really lucky. I really enjoy everything I make, and I, generally speaking, absolutely love everything I make. But every now and again I make something that I adore, and this is in this category. I don't know what it is about this shape, or maybe it's the fabric, I'm not sure. Maybe it's the really open neckline, but genuinely think this is quite flattering on me. That's not a term I'd use very often. I don't have any body issues at all. I like my body, very happy with it, but I love how it looks in this. I don't know if it's the wide neckline or something, but I think it puts me in proportion really well. And I think you can see slightly, there's a very slight V on this bodice piece. I made size large, I want to say. If I haven't, I'll put it in here. So I made it to my body measurements. I'm just thinking that through. I might have to put some commentary on the screen if that's not right. And it is quite a snug fit, that much which is true. I'm just going to stand up a second because I always do. So you can see this lovely V here. It has got pockets. If I'm honest, I might not put the pockets in next time because it does create a little bit of bulk here. And I found the seam line at the side here doesn't quite align, so that's my mistake, because the pockets are actually very close to the top of the skirt. It comes with a centre join in the front and a centre join in the back, and because of my fabric, I decided to omit that. So I took out the seam allowance and kept it on, just cut it on the fold, and that's worked out perfectly. So Angela was asking me about that. So I sent her the picture and said, thank you for the inspiration. She said, I've zoomed in. I think you've taken the centre seam out. I've often wondered if that was possible. So yes, I have. I took it out on both the front and the back. This beautiful fabric came from a fabric market in Amsterdam last year. You know when you buy a fabric and you think, I have to wait and find the right right outfit. I confess I was going to make a jumpsuit out of it because you know I love a jumpsuit. But this, yay! It's lovely autumnal colours, it's lovely and bright. I really like this shape on me, and it's proper full length, this dress, which is unusual for a jersey actually. I'm loving it. So the Staria dress, big tick in the box for me. I will say the neckline has been a little vexing for me. It's interesting, sitting better today than it was last night. I don't know how that can be. The pattern piece, I put the pattern piece for the neckline, which is quite a thin, excuse me, microphone. It's quite a thin neckline on here. So I used the pattern piece, but when I put it together, sadly I had overlocked it onto the dress because I was confident that it was going to be fine. But it sat proud, sort of sat out on itself. So I had to unpick the whole thing, and this is a massive neckline. So that was very painful, if I'm honest. But I took it off, glad I did. If I'm honest, I've basted this on and yet to go back in and overlock it. I might not. And in fact, so I took quite a lot of it off so that it sits flatter, and it does actually sit much flatter. When I look in the camera here while I'm videoing, you wouldn't be able to see that it's sitting just slightly proud. So just word of wise for that. And that will be because of the size of the neckline itself. It'll be because of the aperture of my boobies and all that sort of stuff. So it'll come out differently for different people, I imagine. But that was the only thing. I also had a go at sort of pattern matching my sleeves. I don't think I did too badly. Yeah, that's not too bad because obviously this is a border print. But I wasn't worried about what colour the bodice would be versus the skirt piece. But isn't it fun? I love it. I can definitely see loads of these in my life. I always say that about almost everything I make, but it just feels like I'm in pyjamas. It's the most comfy thing ever. And this jersey is actually what I would call a winter weight jersey, so which is perfect. It's actually quite a thick cotton jersey actually. So nice and structure. And I'm lucky because it is, the elastane is working quite hard across the front here. It is actually quite a tight fitting dress. So I'm lucky that this isn't a cheap or it isn't the sort of jersey that when you stretch it out, it's gone a little bit whiter, because it would definitely be a little bit whiter across the front, is all I'm saying. But I love it. So yeah, so that was, and it didn't take me any time at all to make. You're essentially making a big t-shirt, really. Literally, yeah. You do the bodice, you put the bodice front, attach the bodice front to the bodice skirt, bodice back to the bodice skirt back, and then join it in the shoulder seams, and then you put your sleeves in, and then go down the sides like you would with a t-shirt. So really straightforward. And because I always do the cuff before I put the sleeve together, join the sleeve together, so you've actually got your cuff done when you put your side seams in. You don't have to worry about hemming, which is fine. I wasn't going to hem the bottom because it's jersey, but it started to curl a little bit, so I just did a very simple hem, just turned it up a little bit, and yeah, did a zigzag around the bottom. So super pleased with that. Thank you, Angela, for your inspiration, and there were, as I say, be many more of these. So back in November, I know unboxings and subscription boxes aren't everybody's thing, so I will just let you know that I made the Regalia Blouse from Sew House 7. I've got some sunshine coming through, that's nice. I haven't really seen the sunshine this week. So this is the Regalia Blouse by Sew House 7 in this amazing cotton lawn, and I made this as part of my subscription box for Little Miss So-and-so. There is a video dedicated to this, so do head on over and check that out. But I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, so I'll add some pictures in here of me wearing this. It is actually incredibly reminiscent of the Marnie blouse, which I did not get on with from Tilly and the Buttons. I think that was last year, wasn't it? Last year, maybe the year before? No, last year, I think. So in that, you've got this front yoke, and then you've got gathering at the bust. I think the Marnie's only on the front, but it is on both on the back. But what I really love about the Regalia blouse is the yokes are finished with the burrito method. I hope you can see me okay because the sun is absolutely streaming in now, which is lovely. And I really like how they finish the neckline with this lovely collar, because you start with the collar and then the collar gets sandwiched between the two yokes. So it's a really clean finish on the inside and the outside. There's lovely ties on the back there for a closure. And another really beautiful feature is a hem band, I think that's probably called, which beautifully finishes the edges of your sleeves. So you're not turning up the sleeve, you're actually creating a hem and finishing that hem band and finishing it that way, which I think is beautiful. So I really enjoyed the construction of this blouse. There's a really good sew along as well. But yeah, absolutely love that. And look at the colours in this. Oh, absolutely divine. It's a sort of a really deep navy stroke black background, and then these pops of colour with these beautiful umbrellas. Goes well with the loots that I've made. It also goes well with the polo jacket that I recently made. It's a little bit clashy with my Piar jacket because it's very similar colour schemes. But for me, I just love the fact that I'm building, always building a wardrobe that sort of coordinates with each other. But what a spectrum of colours that I have got in my wardrobe, and I absolutely love that. The last make that I wanted to share with you, which I can actually put over the top of this, is a waistcoat. And this is the Glind waistcoat by the Sussex Seamstress. And this is her latest release. So this came out in the end of October, and I love it. I've made mine in black, so it's going to be really hard for you to see, but I will pop it on. But it's got these beautiful integrated pockets, which is the simplest construction ever. So for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, thank you very much. You'll know that my journey with welt pockets in waistcoats has been interesting, and not always that successful. In fact, on this channel in the last year, maybe 18 months, this will be my third waistcoat pattern that I've attempted, if you like. The other two have not made it into rotation, but I'm delighted to say that the fit on this waistcoat is superb, and Jane has a sew along on her YouTube channel for every pattern that she makes, but she just talks it through in such a beautiful and calm fashion. I adore it. It's fully lined. Well, I've just found a random pin. That's weird. Don't know what that's doing in there. Let me just pop that on the side there. So it's fully lined, and I made this using this fabulous fabric from Dot to Dot Studio, which I bought just a few weeks ago. It is, I don't know what fabric it is, but I need more of it in my life. Here are the pockets on the two front sections there. Such simple construction, I love it. And then on the inside, it's fully lined, and I chose to use a remnant of the fabric that I bought in France. So I got zebras all over my inside, and it's lovely because you use the same fabric for the front panel on the inside, but then the rest of the panels you can use whatever lining you want to, which is just lovely. As I say, there's another pocket there. Let me pop it on. I appreciate it's not particularly brilliant with this actual dress, but I will put photos in, and you'll see I actually I quite like it, to be honest. You will see that I wear this with the dress that I featured last week. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh, I seem to be sneezing in my videos a lot recently. It was the time of year. I actually wear this with the black and white polo dress that I made last week, or I featured last week, sorry. So this is the waistcoat itself. Now I did make the waistcoat to my measurements, but as you can see here, I'm not going to be able to do this up. Sorry about my microphone. I'm not going to be able to do that up. So if I did want to have a waistcoat that I could do up, I would need to size up. But having said that, in the pictures you'll see, what I actually want from a waistcoat is just coverage across my testicles. That's what I'm looking for. It just provides me with that extra layer that I'm looking for, and I think the silhouette of this is just lovely. So if I haven't already, I'll be putting some photos in here. I love it. Obviously the pockets are there. They're not something that I would be able to put my mobile phone in or anything like that, but it's a beautiful style line, and the fact that it's fully lined is lovely. Interface the front panels, but not the back panels, so that just gives it enough structure. You definitely can put buttons and button holes onto this, because when I tried it on, I thought, you know what, I know I'm not going to do this up. Now, having said that, I'm sorry about my microphone, I can actually cross it over enough to do up, but it will be quite snug. So that's something I'll bear in mind for the next one I make. And I'm going to give myself a chance to wear this for a while before I decide whether I want to make another one. But they are bang on trend, and in summer to wear just a waistcoat is just such a lovely silhouette. I took a picture of the back of the waistcoat as well, and the shaping of this is just divine. So Jane, done it again. It's absolutely beautiful. What a lovely addition, and I do really like it with this dress, and I'd like it. I've not tried it on with this before, but I like it a lot, and it does remind me very much of my youth, because I used to wear my dad's waistcoats all the time, over sort of t-shirts and bodysuits and all sorts of things. So yeah, lovely. Yeah, so great instructions, great sew along. Once again, I just used the sew along for that. I didn't really read the instructions, I just went through it with Jane on her sew along, which is lovely. So thank you very much for that. Coming up, I've got some more plans, and as I sit here right now, I love this moment because I've actually got two projects cut out. One of them is the latest release from Laur Piar. I actually don't know how to say that, I'm really sorry. And this was inspired by a reasonably new YouTuber to me called June Handmade, or June Made. I need to put that on the screen if that's right. If you haven't seen her channel, please go and check her out, because she is just such a lovely YouTuber, and her aesthetic on her channel is dreamy. She's got the right lighting set up, she's got a proper camera by the looks of it, her graphics are amazing. She's an actress, I think, as well, so she's just beautiful to watch and makes the most beautiful items. And she was featuring this because she was a pattern tester. So this is the Lenne top by Laur. I don't know if it's Laur Patterns, Piar. Laur Piar, I'm not sure, I'm sorry, but I love this. This gather into the shoulder is beautiful, but actually on June Made, or June Handmade, she's actually changed this into a pleat, and she's extended it into a dress, which also the designer has done, and there's details of how to hack that into a dress. This top has loads of different options, and what I really love is that one of them is to have a one sleeve option, so sleeveless on one side and a sleeve on the other, and then the extended dress version has got a beautiful sort of very slight ruching on both sides of your waistline, sort of slightly asymmetric. If I can, I'll put a stock photo of that in here, and that is what I'm going to be making for my company Christmas party, which is not far away actually, so I need to crack on and make that. So we're going up to Wales to have a national conference at the beginning of December, so I do need to crack on and make that. And I'm making that using a really sparkly jersey that my daughter had ordered last year, and when it turned up it was just too scratchy for her. She suffers from, well, not suffers, that's the wrong word, she has quite sensory, high sensory characteristics, so it's a little bit too scratchy for her, and I agree, actually it's not brilliant, but for a one night party in this sort of style, using the dress version that I popped on there, I think that's going to be great. Either that or that lovely chrysanthemum crushed velvet that I got from Minerva. I think either of those jerseys would look amazing, or I might make both. Who knows? It depends how it goes. So I'm actually making a, if you like, a wearable toile of this right now, using a very large remnant of jersey I've had in my stash for a really long time. So that's cut out. I've also got cut out the zebra fabric in the VN dress by Sews Me Sewing, which I can't wait to make. But I've had all these other things that I've been making, so so I've got 2 projects cut out, ready to go. And then on my agenda, which I know I've talked about a lot, are 2 Maison Faux patterns. One is the Tigris coat in a beautiful grey wool, which I can't wait to make. And then the Atlas, I'm making the dress version. I still need to find the buttons. I know they're in my house somewhere. Isn't that frustrating? But that's going to be in a beautiful viscose. So I'm thinking that might be my Christmas Day dress, actually, because I think it's going to be super wearable. You're probably thinking, oh my word, no one can make as much as that. But I do, and I love it, and I love having you here with me. So if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do hit the old subscribe button. I'd absolutely love that. I also would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about vlogmas. I did do vlogmas last year. I think I did it most days. The jury's out for me at the moment as to whether I'm going to do it or not. I think it's one of those things where I say to myself, well, yeah, go for it. And then when I'm in the mix of it, I'm like, why did I commit to this? So I might stick to doing 1 video a week as I do through the year, if that's okay with you. But if you'd like to see a slice of Cara every day, let me know in the comments below, because I could be easily persuaded, I think is what I'm saying with that. But yeah, it's lovely to be here in your home again. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you. Oh my goodness, here comes the rain. I'm about to get soaked. So I look forward to catching up with you again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.